Coach, just the initial takeaways from the scrimmage last week, or the exhibition last week.
Great crowd, awesome crowd, which is a big part of why we do it, and it allows guys to play in front of crowds that they've never played in front of before, especially majority of the new guys, if not all of them. So that part is really good. Guys get sped up a little bit, and you want that to happen. And for the most part, it was good. I don't think the score was, we didn't play quite as well as what the score read. I think there's some little things we got to do better, especially on the base pass and some situational hitting stuff. Thought we pitched it well. Played overall solid defense. Weren't challenged too much on that front where there was, plays that were you like them to make that they don't make. So it was fine. It was fine. It was solid. Definitely stuff to build off of, but also show that we got a pretty good foundation and a team that has a chance to be pretty good.
I know we're still a little bit of time away from the season, of course, but how much do these games weigh more on your decision to kind of start formulating a lineup than maybe just practice or in the cages or whatnot?
The games are a small part of it in the sense of we practice every day, so a lot of that matters too. We play games in practice, but I think showing how guys can handle the environment and playing against another team, because everyone's had, call them a fall American. They play great in the fall, and then when the game starts, they don't. And then I've had guys on the flip side. So it is important, but it's a small piece to the larger picture.
How does the approach to this exhibition differ from the last one, considering the opponent that's coming in here on Friday?
Doesn't change at all. Still want to win. Still want to play well. They're a good ball club, but we're attacking teams, and scouting's not at a high level in the fall as it would be in the regular season, just because personnel changes so much, and we're having a practice today, right? We're not preparing to a little bit to play against TCU. Now, if we're playing the regular season, a lot of that would be geared towards them. We're still trying to get better and do things, so it's not full bore on a preparation for an opponent, but yeah, we still want to go out and play well. It doesn't change, Whoever we're playing, we want to play well no matter what.
What does the pitching plan look like for Friday night, and how do you go about evaluating pitching throughout the fall?
Yeah, your guys, I think Weston's really proven, last year I thought he proved himself, and he has a ton of equity in this program, and we'll do a similar deal, 12 innings. One or two guys will go two, maybe bring guy in, in the middle of an inning, just depending on how it goes. I think we had a few guys that we were thinking about starting. I think we'll probably, we just talked about it, go with Weston, and just to give him time to prepare. And we anticipate, at this moment, him being one of those weekend guys. He's definitely earned it from past performance, but more so earned it with what he's done this fall. And you'll see a similar order, maybe some changes here and there, but nothing too crazy.
What is some? I know since I have the first time here. What is the some of your focuses of fall ball, just in general? What are the things you hope the guys get out of it carrying into the spring?
I hope they know how all the little things we expect, and I hope they mess up on them, and I hope they fix them, and I hope when other people mess up on those little things, they don't wait until they do it to fix them. That they learn from their mistakes and understand that your effort and doing little things are going to get you in the lineup or keep you out of the lineup. Period. And credit to them, they've responded well to the challenges we've thrown at them, and we've had some really tough practices and long practices and challenging guys. There's no set spots, there's no nothing, so everything's going to be earned, and there's a lot of competition, and you'll see some different guys in the lineup, and that's how it'll be throughout the season until people establish a spot, and we just have very few of those, so there's a lot of spots to get. So that's been the biggest focus is knowing that, and that comes from the coaching staff and our message to them, and we've had a consistent message since day one, and the players know what to expect. They know where to be at every second of the day, and they know exactly what we want out of them, and they've executed pretty well so far.
We're talking to Aiden today. How has his fall been so far?
Been great. He's progressed is about as good as you could possibly, or as good as you could hope for, and from all aspects. He's grown up, matured-wise, physically, and I always knew Aiden was going to be a good player, and he pitched. He had some good moments for us last year, and he's made that natural progression, but also more so, I think he's made a pretty solid jump, and want to continue to see him grow. And he looked really good on Friday, and he looked really good in practice before.
Obviously, saw a couple freshmen both hit and pitch on Friday. So how do you go about managing the two-way guys like Nico and Luke?
Number one is their health and making sure it's not high school baseball. You can't throw 4 or 5 innings and then go play shortstop and then play shortstop the next day and then pitch again. It's just not going to happen. So how we do it with them is all their throwing is pitcher throwing. So if there's days where we do ground balls where Nico doesn't throw. Like Sunday, he didn't really throw because he had pitched on Friday. He threw about the intent he would throw, and a lot of it's on them. And knowing that and knowing like, hey, like it's okay for you to throw at 50%. Like just because the guy beside you isn't, you're different. You're a two-way guy. So we have to educate them on that a lot. Their weight room stuff's a little bit different than everyone else, and it's a two-way street. Like we have to manage their bodies and not make them do anything out of the ordinary, and they also have to be smart too and trust. And when we tell them how hard to go on the arm standpoint, that is exactly what we mean.
How is Shane Sadeo progressing as he continues to rehab and return from injury?
Great. He's right on track. Hopefully get him some live hitters. Should get him some live hitters, at some point in November, which, he'll get to go up against Gavin Grahovic and guys like that. So we'll have some pretty good matchups here with no one on the baseball field, which would be fun to see.
First time this season building a roster with the rev share piece of this. How has that changed how that goes, the operation, or just how you have to kind of build a roster?
Yeah, I mean, it changes it a little bit, but and I think for the most part we got guys that want to play here, and yeah, I mean, no, it's fine. I don't think it's not quite different yet. I mean, just because with the house settlement and things you could do before the settlement date, so it might be a little different question for next year, but it was different for sure, and it is different now, but I think we've always had guys that wanted to play here because they wanted to play here. And I know, like, there's a lot of guys on this team and a lot of guys last year's team that they could have went and played other places for, guess, more, if what you want to call it, and they didn't do that. So you want guys that want to be here, and that's what we have.